So, of course, it'll be based on the assumptions that Trump will continue on the path that US government has already taken earlier. And he will follow up on his threats of more tariffs as what he has said. So, look, the root of the problem from a Chinese perspective is overproduction. They produced not just goods, but they produced extra roads which were not needed, extra cities which were not needed, and extra goods for the rest of the world which is not needed by the rest of the world. So what they have been doing is dumping these goods at at prices which are less than the marginal costing. In fact, the same is what they're doing with India. So when the ambassador was talking about the China plus one option, we are actually not even in the plus one option. We are in a position where we have to defend ourselves from the dumping that China is doing into our economy. Forget about replacing the Chinese manufacturing. We are defending ourselves in PTFE and Teflon and in multiple other things which are critical for some of our critical sectors such as semiconductors. So coming back to your question as to what is it that US will be doing and how China will be responding, clearly reading the tea leaves, it is clear that US will go on a very stringent anti-Chinese trade through rampant tariffs being put in. They had put in tariffs to the extent of 500% on Chinese goods. So I think with Trump coming in, that will only increase, especially in those sectors which are labor intensive, as Trump wants to bring jobs back to US. Now, as Trump wants to bring jobs back to US, and China, on the other hand, is desperately trying to keep the jobs in China, which is why there is huge amount of government subsidy directly and indirectly being given so that the factories keep humming and running in spite of no demand. So they're trying to bring down the price of the production to an extent where it is not economically feasible to produce, but they're still producing based on the subsidies so that the jobs continue to happen. Now, we all know that China has got a tremendous amount of joblessness to the extent that they stopped publishing the jobless rate for quite a few months now. So clearly, it has reached a level where it is extremely harmful for China. The internal condition obviously is not known, but the story being pandered to the Chinese is that the rest of the world is a problem because they don't have the money to buy our products. So China is not the problem, it's the rest of the world. Without saying that you are producing things which are not needed by the rest of the world, you're destroying other people's capacity. And if you look at critical minerals as a great example, rest of the world also had critical minerals, but China went and destroyed their capabilities and the capacities by pricing the critical minerals at a much lower rate. And once all the capacities in the world, including in Australia, got destroyed, then they started increasing the price and they still control 90% of the critical minerals being supplied to the rest of the world. So that is a practice that they will do much more. And US is surely not going to permit that to happen. So we see if we will clearly see a full-blown trade war erupting. And I think clearly China will be on the losing side of this looming threat that will be coming up.